Hey all, Duran here again. My original plan for this video was to talk about some of the ideas I have for Classic WoW community events on the PvE side of things. My two other videos cover ideas for events that are PvP focused, so I wanted to shift gears and talk about PvE. I do have several ideas for PvE events, but once I started working on expanding them to create this video, I realized that my ideas hinged on how players view PvE and what they and their guild's mindset is with raids in particular. As you all know, there are several types of raids in vanilla. Most 40-man raids are on a 7-day reset, except for Onyxia, which is on a 5-day reset. Already that's a little bit weird. 20-man raids, which are ZG and AQ20, are on a 3-day reset. And then there's Ubers and LVRS, which can technically be raided, but they don't really have a reset timer, and I'm not going to get into the whole dungeon reset thing. So, 40-man and 20-man raids. What this means is that any guild that wants to be competitive in any way, whether that's PvE or PvP, needs to take 40-man raids pretty seriously. By that I mean they're not going to be willing to participate in just for fun PvE events or competitions if it impacts their core members getting the gear they need from raids. I think this is a big reason why the PvE scene in vanilla has evolved into speed clearing competitions. After new content has been released and the server or world first kills have been done, then the competition becomes who can clear the content the fastest. This makes a lot of sense once the content is on farm and you're looking at doing the same raids every week for months. You need a reason for people to show up and actually use consumables and focus. Rather than slugging through those raids and doing them over the course of multiple days, it makes more sense to keep players motivated by creating a competitive atmosphere. And I think that's what speed clearing competitions do. Like it or hate it, that's what vanilla raiding at a competitive level seems to have become. Most of this is based on what is happening on private servers, but I have a pretty good feeling that that's what Classic is going to end up being. Because of speed clearing becoming the new norm, in my opinion, there ends up being two types of people who raid in vanilla. Those who want to be competitive and those who aren't worried about it at all. The people who want to be competitive are going to put some importance on speed clearing. They may not be striving to have the fastest clear times, but the goal of every raid is going to be play fast, play efficiently, get in, get out, without any complications. Finish all the raids in as short a time as possible so that the focus can be on PvP or on other things. As fun as raiding can be, people don't want to spend more than a couple hours in a raid, because that starts to feel slow and boring after doing the same raids for weeks, months, or even years. I think most people fall into this category, and those that aren't worried about speed clearing tend to be our peers who are looking at doing the raids from a completely different standpoint. Pug groups that are really just trying to get the raids done, so they're willing to take their time. Or people that are newer to the game that are still learning how to play the mechanics of different raids and things like that. So why does this matter? For those of you who've been watching my videos, you know that my goal is to create community events specifically for the dead times between content releases. Hopefully that means that my events become some of those other things that people look forward to after they finish up raids for the week. But in the case of my ideas for PvE events, it's going to depend on the people and the guild. I do have ideas for PvE events for both the competitive and the non-competitive, but I didn't want to throw them out there without discussing what PvE in vanilla has become. Some of my ideas are going to seem like a hindrance and a waste of time for more serious raiders, and some of them are going to seem designed for hardcore players. Unfortunately, because of how PvE is designed in vanilla, there isn't a lot of in between. I'll go in depth on those ideas in my next video, but I wanted to bring up this topic before I got into that so that you all know what my thought process is and how not all my ideas are going to cater to the entire Classic WoW community at any given time. I think the state of PvE in vanilla is an interesting topic with a lot of gray area, so I've come up with a list of questions and I'd love to get a discussion going and to hear from you guys. I'll include these questions below, so if you want to read through them and answer them that way, you can. Here are some of those questions. What do you think of competitive PvE in vanilla? Does it just boil down to server or world first? What do you think of speed clearing competitions? Do you wish there was more to do on the PvE side of things besides speed clearing and fighting for server and world firsts? Where do you think you fall on the competitive and non-competitive rating spectrum, and how does that affect your view of PvE? Let me know what you think. I plan on releasing my PvE community video not too long after this one, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Twitter. As always, thanks for watching.